Hi, good afternoon. This is Ainhoa Manero, director from Stern Abogados. I'm here, well, not here, but here in the broadcast with Juan Carlos. Maybe some of you already talked to them. He's a lawyer also in the law firm, and we do together all the procedures. So we think it was a good idea to be both of us here. So hello, Juan Carlos.
Hello, how are you? Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, well, this is very exciting. This is our new and first live. We have decided to do this because we are getting a lot of questions, and it's normal. The situation is unusual. We don't know. Well, you don't know what is happening with your status, and we are getting so many questions that we thought it was a good idea to do twice a week, something like that, a live, a live studio, so we can answer all the questions because we are not managing to answer your questions. So we can answer now, and all of you can know the same information, because if we start answering the people one by one, you don't have the answers, all of you, so it was not useful for all of you. So let's see, we have a lot of questions that you already posted. We are going to be reading and answering, and of course you can be doing questions here, but we have quite a big list. We will try to be fast enough to answer all of them, and if not, don't worry, because we will post the answers that we haven't had time to answer. So thank you for being here. And Juan Carlos, how do we do? Do you ask me the first question and I answer, and we start back and forward?
Yes, that's fine. So we have actually a lot of questions, and the first one is from Andrea Somas, and she asks, "Do you believe that special appointments will be available for those who had procedures scheduled during the lockdown, with which subsequently cancelled? I had a cita for toma de huellas for fingerprints on March the 19th, and I'm worried that getting a new cita will be very difficult."
Well, it is a good question, because we are also worried about this. For sure, they will have to put special appointments. So the thing is, they were not enough appointments available already before COVID. Now they have a backlog. So they have to do one or the other thing, or put more appointments, okay, or do any other kind of solution that will allow you to travel freely, for example with the Spanish people, because they know that they have even more people that with this problem. The Spanish ID, they have decided to extend it for one more year, even if it's if it expires. So answering your questions, for sure, I think they will be new appointments, or if not, if there are not special appointments, and don't get worried, because there will be any other kind of solutions. But right now, for anyone that is looking for appointment, don't get crazy looking every 5 minutes, because they are not going to be, okay? They are canceled, they are not, and it's not the priority to open these kind of appointments, because they if even if you don't have the fingerprints done, you will be okay. So next question, Juan Carlos, maybe you can answer it, is
Mhm.
Chris Rose. It says, thank you so much for this. Are we currently able to enter Spain with our temporary non-lucrative visa? Is there any chance this could be changed?
Okay, yes, actually, borders are indeed closed in the European Union, and Spain has borders closed down. But there are some exceptions to this rule. Okay, so legal residents in the European Union are able to enter Spain or any other country with no restrictions. Okay, so you have to have, of course, a legal residence in Spain. In this case, it's a non-lucrative visa, so it's not only a visa; it also has a permit for you to be in Spain because you have a residence permit. So yes, you are a legal resident in the European Union. So yes, you can enter Spain. But okay, sometimes the police officers in the borders are not so informed about this kind of rules. So we advise you to contact a lawyer or to get all these rules on paper so you can show them that, of course, you are able to enter Spain because you are a legal resident. So I think that you are allowed. That's different if you're a tourist, because if you have a visa for a tourist visa, that's different. You are not a legal resident. You cannot enter Spain right now. You have to wait. But with a non-lucrative visa, that means that you have a permit. So yes, you should be able to enter Spain.
Exactly. This is because it's a non-lucrative visa, so it's a residency visa, and I think it's a very good idea, Juan Carlos. We always recommend to have everything in written. Of course, we always say if you want us to write it, it is a very good thing for you. But even if you don't want to hire a lawyer, get things in written. Why? Because maybe the police that is hearing you is not the one that is going to decide. So they are going to tell you one moment and they are going to ask for their bosses. So if you can give them something in written and they see you that you are prepared, it's always going to be better. So I agree with you totally, Juan Carlos.
Okay, so we move on to the next question.
Yeah.
And this one is from David Logan, and he's asking, are people on a student visa able to qualify for any government support if the paid internship practicas, we say in Spanish, aspect of their study program has been suspended? So I think he has an ERTE in Spain. He wants to know if he can get some government support.
Where, or maybe because this is an internship inside the study program and the study program has ended. Ended, no, stopped because of the COVID. The internship is not happening. So, well, David, there are different internships, okay, and depending on the internship that you have, you will have some rights or the other, because there are two main internships. One is by convenio, is called, okay, that normally you see the agreement between the study center and the company and you, and the other is a really contrato de prácticas, the real from the government one. If you have the one of the government, okay, you will be able to get some help from the government, but as you have drafted, I think you don't have that one. You have the first one, the one with convenio in the internship, and that's why you have the student visa also. So in this case, I think you are not going to be able to ask for any help. In any case, we have to see the payroll. In the payroll, we will see really if you are cotizando. That is the main thing. If the company is paying for the social security, the cotización, is when you will get you can get the help from the government. I don't think this is the case. We can study the concrete contract that you have.
Okay. Yes, I agree.
Okay. Okay. Next question. Antonio say, is the expiration in our student visa stay visa frozen because of the state of alarm? Well, this is the main question from everyone. I think a lot of people already have read it, but it's very good to talk again for those who haven't heard about anything yet. So Juan Carlos, give some calm and some good news to our people.
Yes, sure. All legal terms in Spain are suspended while the state of alarm, okay? But that doesn't mean that you're not able to renew your student permit. So in this case, if you want to renew your permit, you are able to do it. But if you are not going to renew it because you have finished your studies and you want to know if the expiration date expired, like for example, yes, it's frozen in terms that the clock has stopped, okay, for all the terms. But if you are going to renew it because you are going to continue with your studies, then of course you can renew it. You can do it by electronic means. You can do it by yourself if you have an electronic certificate, or you could hire a lawyer for us to do it, and they will continue to study your procedure and to do it, because foreign offices are closed. to the public, but they are still working. Okay, so they will keep studying all the procedures and they will be issuing all the resolutions. So yes, the clock is frozen, but you will be able to renew it if you want. So the answer is yes, but you can still renew it.
So having two options, okay? If you don't want to do it because you cannot hire a lawyer, or you don't have an electronic certificate to do it by yourself online, and because then the only option is going there to the register office and doing it, okay? You have the chance, times are frozen, so you have the chance to do it after. So afterwards means that we have all the period of estado de alarma, which is now 1 month more or less. So you need to count that you have 1 more month. If the estado de alarma lasts 2 months, you need to count that you have 2 months. But at the same time, if you want to do it now, in time, you can do it. And it's something good if you can do it, because what we are seeing is a lot of resolutions, okay? We are seeing that because they don't have to be in the appointments getting papers and everything, there are more people in immigration working on resolutions. So it's much better if you think you are complying with the requirements, and for whatever reason you really want to have already a resolution because you will want to be able to travel and don't get an autorización de regreso or something like that. You are able to do it now, or if you want, whenever this finishes. Two options, which is the best thing to do. The best thing is to have two options. You decide, or doing it now or doing it after. Let's see in the chat. We have a lot of more questions, but let's see in the chat what they are saying. For example, I'm here for 4 years now. No contract to apply for residency permit. I don't want to die. Please, my heart is thinking of suicide. Well, well, this is not a reason because we have to kill yourself, because we have solutions. Okay, so if you have been here for 3 years, and this also is answering a question that they were asking me. I read it about doing modificación de estudiante a cuenta ajena o arraigo, and I'm going to answer this now because it's related. So this person has been here for 4 years. Okay, so after 3 years you can do an arraigo. It's true that is much better to have a contract. That is the main good situation, okay? But you can also show financial means. And financial means there are two criteria, or the TAFTA criteria, the one of non-lucrative visa, 30,000 euros, which I know is difficult, okay? But there is another criteria, which is showing at least like that you have the minimum financial means to live here. And this, for example, they are allowed to do it when you are married, for example, and your couple has a work permit, even that you don't have a work offer. If this person can show that earns 800 euros, for both of you will be okay. So there are options even if you don't have a contract, but of course, if you get legalized like that, you will not get a work permit, only a residency permit. And I am talking about this question that I read that they posted, that they were asking if a student was mandatory to do the modification from a student to cuenta ajena or cuenta propia, or they could do an arraigo. Of course, you could always do an arraigo, and this is something that people that come to the consultation ask me a lot. But I want you to have clear the difference, okay? An arraigo is whenever you have been here in Spain for 3 years, you haven't been outside in those 3 years more than 120 days, and you have become illegal, okay? And because you have become illegal, they are asking the same as the modification from a student to cuenta propia or cuenta ajena, but even more documents. For example, criminal records, for example, informe the arraigo, which is you need to go to a course and then go to an interview, and they do like a good report from you. So of course you can do it, but it's worse. Arraigo is the same, but a little bit more of documents and time doing, because you even need a contract, because people think that because you have been here for 3 years, you do an arraigo and you don't need a contract. No, as I was telling 5 minutes ago, there is an option to do it without a contract, but you need to have financial means and high financial means. So arraigo or modification always with work offer, with a contract, if you want to have a work permit. Okay. So okay, let's go to the list. We were here. Yes, with Robin, right, Juan Carlos?
Yeah, Robin George asking, I have moved out of the country with a return permit, autorización de regreso, and with the last date of May the 13th to enter Spain back. Will it be extended due to this emergency? What will it happen if I can't enter Spain on that deadline?
Yeah, for sure, Robin. So there are several situations. So as you know, the time, as we have already said, is frozen. So if the expiration of your return of your return permit is May 13th, now you have to add 1 more month. Okay. But even that is true, that also you need to think about what is going to happen, because maybe from the US they don't allow to travel here or something like that. So we have to see how this goes, all this COVID-19, because if from some countries it is forbidden to travel here, of course they will give you even more time than the estado de alarma. Okay, so you need to have in mind, for sure it is extended at least for the period of estado de alarma. So if estado de alarma lasts for 2 months, you need to think that instead of May, your autorización de regreso will last until May, July. Okay, but even that, we also need to consider what is going to be the situations and the special rules that they come up with not traveling from one country to other, because maybe in the US in a month the COVID is very, very bad and you cannot come back or something like that. So there will be any solution to extend it.
I know we have another question, this time from YouTube. And okay. Carla Coronado is asking, we are currently living in Spain with a non-lucrative visa, well, non-lucrative residence permit. Can we extend a non-lucrative online? How long before it expires? So yes, of course you can do it online. Actually, the renewal, we advise to do it online, because some people do it by post, by normal mail, and it gets lost. So we recommend to do it online. For that, you will need an electronic certificate, or if you don't have it, you can hire a lawyer to do it by electronic means. Okay, so yes, you can do it online, but you should do it, and you have 60 days before it expires, or 90 days after it to renew it.
So the good thing about this is not even the renewal, which has always been allowed. The good thing about, the only good thing I think about the COVID-19 is that the renewals are allowed online, but also first application. So people that you were waiting for, familiar de comunitario, arraigo, all of these first applications that we should do here by appointment, and in Madrid was very difficult to get those appointments. Now they allow it to do it online. So it's great, because really we don't have to wait for those appointments. That, imagine if before was difficult, now I don't imagine to get those appointments. So now all the applications that were mandatory to do in person, we can do it online. So really, this is my recommendation, to do it online, because maybe you need to wait for more months to get an appointment. We don't know, but having this having this chance to do it online is great renewals, but only also cuentas ajenas iniciales, everything like that. So, okay, another question. For example, Claire. She has asked, we are a family from the US living in Spain. Yes, Raquel told me about this case. It's very interesting. We have permission to live in Spain because my husband is a NATO military orders. He retired from the military July 1st. We would like to stay in Spain or Portugal. We were planning to apply for a non-lucrative visa. My question is, will we be able to stay in Europe? We don't want to go back to the US. So it's a very good question. We have some other cases also, because it's very similar to the status of the diplomatics, and it's a special status that you are here, Claire. You cannot really change to a non-lucrative as we know the procedure. So, for example, if you had I don't know, a cuenta ajena, another kind of permit, and you can modify after a year to a non-lucrative. With this kind of status, you cannot, okay? So you have two options, or going back, as you know, and applying for the first non-lucrative at the consulate, or if you haven't done, I have called to the ministry to ask for this special procedure for you, and they thinking about one way that we can do it that is like special circumstances, and they told me that they've been approving this kind of circumstances. So if you really don't want to go back, we can do the way of special circumstances, in which they see what was your status, and that you don't want to go back. If you really don't want to go back, it's a good option. It's going to take longer, okay? Take in mind that it's going to take longer. Everything about special circumstances, it takes longer than a non-lucrative from the US, that is going to take around three weeks. But if you are not in a hurry and you are not planning to travel, it is a good option, because you will have the form with the stamp that we have submitted already, and you are really legal while they are studying the case. But the main thing is that the resolution, it will take longer than a normal non-lucrative. You decide, and both options are okay. Juan Carlos, have you read anything about the chat?
Yes, okay. We have two student questions. So the first one is a person that wants to know if she has a tourist visa, if she can change the status of the visa to a student visa. Okay.
Very good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question, because it depends a lot on the kind of visa you have. Some of the visas that you have are for less than 2 months, maybe even 20 or 30 days. And the main requirement to apply for a student visa in Spain is that you do it 30 days before your current visa expires. So if you have a visa that is longer than 30 days, and better if it's much longer, then you can apply to change for a student visa if you have this extra 30 days to do it.
And but have in mind, because we have a lot of cases like this right now, that for them, COVID is good, because have in mind that, of course, you need to have 30 days left. When we say visa, is because you have a visa. If you are a tourist here with Schengen, but not visa, that like in the US, that you enter without a visa, is the same, okay? You need to have 30 days left. But the thing is, and if you have a visa because you are, I don't know, from India, okay, and you have a Schengen visa, okay, if it's 90 days, you need to have the 30 days left. But have in mind that time are not counting from March 14th. So maybe they have gained time. So you are having a little longer to be in time for the student visa, because from March 14th, times have stopped. So it only counts if you have a visa for 90 days. And remember that we have to have 30 days left. As long as you haven't reached the 2 months, in March 14th, we are in time, okay? Because times are stopped. They will start counting whenever this is whenever the alarm ends. So now it's a very good time to apply, because time is not counting, but you can apply, so it's perfect.
Yes, and the other one is really easy because Ryan Cole asked if we can renew uh, his student visa online for him. Yes, yes, of course we can, Ryan. Contact us, we can do it online, and we advise you to do it because maybe after the state of alarm doesn't go in effect anymore, there will be a lot of procedures going to the foreigners office, and there will be a major delay then. So the sooner you do it, the better, I think.
Yes, when people ask me about pros and cons for doing it now or waiting, it's just what I think is always, I think doing it online is better, because papers it takes a lot of time. So doing it, the application online, is always better, and waiting to this to stop and starting everything working normally, it will be a very long backlog, and now we are seeing that they are resolving much more quicker. So that is the pro, of course, of doing it now, but you can decide. Let's, Juan Carlos, I'm going to ask you one question. Let's see. She's a client. Bitsania, hello. I have a temporary cuenta propia visa that I will need to renew in October. However, due to COVID, I have no monthly income at the moment. Will this affect my renewal, as I believe there is a minimum monthly income I must meet in order to have my visa renew? Okay, let me answer this, Juan Carlos.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, for a cuenta propia, I want to answer this because we have a lot of freelancer, and it's important that you have everything clear. Also, the economic helps, okay, that we have posted and we will be reviewing. But in this case, for the immigration, what is asking to do a renewal is an average, okay? So it's normal that now you are not getting any clients, so you are not invoicing, and of course, immigration will be more flexible, okay, regarding this average that they will look at, because they know that maybe for a month you haven't been able to work, and that the average go lower. But in the end, what you need to think is that they have to see that you can make a living here in Spain. So you need to show, at least, I think, for the very minimum, if you can show that you are earning from 12,000 euros to 15 would be great. If not, of course you can do it, but I recommend to do un informe de esfuerzo. Un informe de esfuerzo is a report that you go to a course and they do an interview to you, and it's just well, telling why you don't comply very good with the requirements, and this is a very good solution to show that well, for the situation you haven't been able to make the average. But if you are you can show around an average of 12 to 15,000. It is not even needed if you don't want to do it. Juan Carlos, a question for you from Jason. Hello. If have been on a student visa for 3 consecutive years and I will modify to the visa to cuenta ajena, work visa, as a person from the United States, will have to get a new criminal history record, a FBI? I provided that document 3 years ago. This is a good question, because a lot of people apply for this and they shouldn't. But answer, Juan Carlos.
Yes, dear James, you don't need to provide a new document if you've been in Spain for the 3 years consecutive and you provided that document at the beginning. If you did provide that document at the beginning, so no, you will not need to do it again.
So this is, for example, one of the difference that I tell you that is worse to do an arraigo. An arraigo, you need the same but more, because, for example, you for sure need criminal records, okay? And for this kind of modification, you don't need the criminal records. More questions, Juan Carlos. Read me a question.
Yes, we have a question from Roya Riz, San Juan, and she's asking, hi, I'm on a student visa until the last day of May. I don't have plans to go back home because I plan to stay here with my boyfriend. I am planning to apply for a PhD, get a tarjeta comunitaria, okay, after to be able to work. Since everything is locked down, back in my home country too, I still can't have the required documents shipped to me. Hence, we still can't start the processing the application for the PhD. No, it was not PhD. It was
pareja de hecho.
Yes, a registered couple. Yes.
Okay, okay, I understand. So she has a student visa and she's planning to do the pareja de hecho to get the tarjeta comunitaria, but she's not getting the document.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't tell you. This is on Valencia, not in Madrid. So
okay. First of all, okay, you need to know that parejas de hecho have different regulations from the different cities, okay? But having said that, it's normal. You are not going to get the documents, but you need to know two things. One, even if you don't get the documents and you become irregular because you don't do a prórroga de estudios, you will be fine to do the familiar de comunitario. We really need to check if the Comunidad Valenciana puts any problem about doing a pareja de hecho when you are irregular. But in this case, even you could even say that you haven't been able to do it on time because of this COVID and times are stopped. So you are not even becoming irregular. So one of the things that you need to know is that first, see Comunidad Valenciana if they allow to do a pareja de hecho if a person is irregular. If it does, okay, we can check it for you if you want that. But if it does, don't worry if you become irregular, because for immigration, it's not a problem. And the third thing that is very interesting maybe and is good for you is that you need to think about also familia extensa. So la tarjeta de familiar de comunitario has three options. One is marriage, the second one is pareja de hecho, and the third one is pareja estable. This means that we can show that we have been living for a year together. And it's not that easy because it's not only living, okay? They recommend to have an account together to show that you are not only sharing a flat. So an account together, if you have an insurance together or any kind of things that you are sharing, will be better to show this relationship. But if you can show it, it's great because you don't even need to wait for pareja de hecho, because for example in Madrid that it takes long. A lot of times we do pareja estable, we try to prove all the relationship, and if we try to get it approved, if we don't have a lot of evidences, we know that maybe we have to do it through pareja de hecho, but at least we are trying to get it sooner. If it's approved, it's great, and if not, the pareja de hecho appointment comes and we do the pareja de hecho in familiar de comunitario. But very good question. Okay, another question, Juan Carlos. Cristina, hi. Great that you are having this. Thank you. Will you be able to explain the terms of extension for those on a tourist visa? My understanding is that that days have paused in terms of counting towards the 90 days while we are on a state of alarm. Juan Carlos, great question. You need to answer this because we are having a lot of consultations. So I think it's a good thing you explain it.
Yes, and actually we have the same question through Facebook from Lahi Isan. She says, I am too much worried about visa expiration time and how to enter Spain. What is the process for extension of the visa? So the same question. what can we do if our visa expires and we are now on this situation? So the Spanish authorities have issued an instruction that states that all the legal terms are suspended. That includes all the people that are here and cannot go back to their own countries, okay? But this is on the instructions. These are the people that cannot go back to their countries, okay? So it doesn't apply for everyone in general. So it's the people that cannot go back to their countries. So yes, um, all the legal terms are suspended, so you have to add that month of the state of alarm, or if this goes furthermore, you have to add another month because now we know that the state of alarm is going to continue. So this time is not clicking for all these people. However, we recommend you, we advise you to at least file for a visa extension so you can show to the Spanish authorities that you weren't able to go back to your country because of this situation. You prove that, and you will have a receipt that will state that, hey, I wanted to go back to my country. I couldn't do it because there were no flights, because I was afraid, because I have an illness and I don't want to risk my health going to an airport, going to my home country. So even though the terms are suspended, I would like to apply for a visa extension, and then maybe I can formalize it. But yes, the terms are suspended, but we advise you to file for a visa extension just for you to have a legal document that you may be able to show, and that actually it will work for you if you want to do any kind of immigration process in other countries that are not Spain. Because in Spain, the terms are suspended, but in other countries like France, Germany, or Austria, they are not suspended. And when they look at your passport, they will see that you stayed in Spain or in Europe or in Schengen area for more than the 90 days. And if you don't have anything to show, maybe it will be an obstacle to get another kind of permit. So yes, you can be calm. You don't have to worry about it because the Spanish authorities know that this is an extraordinary situation. So the terms are suspended. But if you want to be extra sure, we advise you to file for a visa extension and to meet the requirements just to have the receipt that you applied for that.
Yes, exactly. I want to clarify this. Wait, I'm hearing a lot my voice now. So I want to clarify this because we posted this and some people were thinking that we were trying to sell something that is not needed. So I was trying to clarify. So of course, it's not mandatory to ask for an extension of the tourist visa or the tourist stay because time are post, okay, and it's correct if you don't do anything, but there are several situations, okay, and you need to think about that when we offer things is because people, some people have different situation, and Juan Carlos said it, for example, a Schengen visa is not only for Spain, or a Schengen stay is not only for Spain, and even that the European Union is advising to every country to stop times. Every country in Europe, in the end, have different regulations and different governments. So some countries have more problem with COVID, and other less, and they are taking different decisions. So if here you are okay, and because COVID is so bad here in Spain, the state of alarm stays longer and you are legal or with your time posted here, but you want to travel to, I don't know, to Germany or to a country more in the north that is not getting so many problems, and that they are doing or the alarm for them stops earlier, you will need to have some kind of extension of the Schengen visa to be legal there. So just think about what you need, what you really want, because if you maybe there are people that ask me to have this station, even that they know that they are legal, because they are nervous and they don't want to be explaining this to a police. So you don't need to do it if you don't want it, but you can do it if you want to have something to prove that whenever you are going to travel back, because you have to apply for another visa or inside Europe or wherever. So it depends in your situation. You will need it or not, or you will want it or not. Let's go to another question.
Yes, I'm ready for you if you want.
Okay.
So, oh, I lost it. 1 second.
Okay, I have here. I think I think 11, for example. My current.
Yes, yeah, I think it's Kim Davis.
Yes, I think so.
My current NIE is still under renewal and hasn't been approved yet, and is delayed because of the current situation. I plan on renewing my student visa again in June, auxiliary program. My question is, will I have a problem trying to renew my current NIE for next year when there is a possibility of this one not being renewed yet? Thanks.
No. One thing is telling you that maybe you get the renewal sooner than don't having a COVID, okay? Because really they are resolving more things. But we know that with the students, they have been with backlog for months. So, but this is normal. As long as you have done things on time, even if they don't have time to approve your visa, you will be able to do the new renewal, showing that you did the renewal on time. Last time you haven't still heard it, but you haven't had any requerimiento, and now you do the renewal for the next program, which is auxiliar, the new program. So the main thing is just checking that really is en trámite and with no requerimientos, okay? That is the main thing. If that didn't happen, it's perfect. Juan Carlos, Catherine Goldman. Hi, I am looking forward to the live video. Thank you. My question is about modifying my student visa, which I have had for nearly 5 years as an auxiliar, to a visado de trabajo por cuenta propia. I have planned to submit my paperwork this spring before my visa expires in May 31st, and would like to know if this is still feasible. Thank you. Juan Carlos?
Yes. Actually, right now is the best time to do this kind of procedures, because this modification, before the state of alarm, you had to do it by an appointment, and getting an appointment was extremely hard. Right now, you can do this kind of procedures by electronic means. So if you do have all the required documents, there are a lot, and you have to bear that in mind, because you have to review everything to make sure that you meet all the requirements. Then you may apply for this cuenta propia, for a freelance or autonomo permit by electronic means. And before that date, yes, and you can do it before the state of alarm ends by electronic means. After that, you may need to get an appointment, and that will be, I think, that will be hard.
Exactly. This is the good thing that I was telling you. Things that iniciales, okay, like these modifications, you don't need to go now for an appointment. They will be available whenever they get ready, but you are able to do it online, so it's much recommendable. Let's see in the chat here. What is any question? Wow,
yes.
Our office is answering very quickly.
Yes, I know. I'm seeing a lot of questions about the Jura, about the nationality. What can you say about it?
Okay. Good question and bad answer, because the problem about the Jura is that in the registros, that is where you do the Jura, everything is paralyzed. It's like the fingerprints appointments, okay? The Jura is also stop. You cannot do it. That doesn't mean, because you know that you have 6 months to go, times are stopped. So that doesn't mean that you are going to lose the chance to do the Jura, okay? Like everything in immigration, this is similar. Times are stopped, appointments are canceled, times are not going through those or 180 days, and they will reorganize everything when this ends, and they will give you new appointments. It's true that depends wherever you live, it's going to be easier or not, because, for example, Madrid, the Jura is in 2 steps, pre-Jura and Jura. I don't know, maybe they put it all in one, like they do in Pozuelo. So they will have to find a way to do the Juras, but in any case, it's not going to be a bad consequence for you. Times are stopped, and this is something that it will take some longer to do the jura, but you will do it. You will have another appointment.
Okay.
A lot of questions. Okay. Okay, where are we here? Lauren.
Yes, Lauren Steinberg.
Okay, let me know. What?
Yes, hi. It would be great to know any information at all in regards to how long it will take for a current work permit processes to finish. I am currently waiting for a cuenta ajena to come through, and my NIE expired in March. I submitted renewal paperwork in November, the 2019. I'm assuming I'm in a visa purgatory at this point for an extended period of time, but at least I'd like to know if I'll be able to travel outside the European Union anytime soon. I was under the impression I have a 90-day window after my NIE expire early March, but now that the window for travel outside the European Union will be over by the time we are out of quarantine, I'm assuming. Thanks.
Okay, well, Lauren, hi, how are you? A long time. Okay. Well, the information is this: is taking time, but it's taking less. So maybe check it, because we are getting a lot of approvals. Maybe you get an approval very, very quick. In any case, even if your NIE gets expired in March, remember that is not getting expired. Okay. If it didn't expire before March 14th, it's not getting expired until this ends. Okay. In any case, you submitted, you did it perfectly. You submitted also a renewal just in case your cuenta ajena is denied. So also you have the renewal, which is perfect. And you say, I'm assuming visa purgatory at this point for an extended period. Yes, but at least like to know if able to travel outside the US anytime soon. Well, the thing is, you are legal, but as you know, if the cuenta ajena is not approved and the renewal is not approved, really in a normal situation, you need to apply for an autorización de regreso. The autorización de regreso now is not possible because you cannot go to the police to do it, and even you cannot travel. But whenever you have to travel, okay, maybe you need to travel and you don't have an appointment and everything is okay, COVID finishes, but appointments are not available yet, or not the one that you need because you need to travel sooner. So this is very similar to the high traveling season. So for example, Christmas in Madrid, in Christmas, sometimes they issue like a letter in which they say that they are not issuing autorizaciones de regreso because they don't have enough appointments and enough means to give you autorización de regreso to come back. So what they tell you is, if you are in prórroga, please take all the documents that shows that you did everything correctly. So in this case, if everything ends and you cannot get an autorización de regreso, my recommendation, and it will be normal that this happen, is traveling back with all the documents showing that you were legal and that were not appointments for autorización de regreso. So screenshot of the appointments available the day that you before going, plus all the documentation, and you will be fine. Juan Carlos, Ryan Cole, hello, 3 questions. Wow. I am here an auxiliar de conversación in Madrid. After 3 years, I will modify for a work visa. Is autónomo my only option, or can I company hire me as an employee? Can I be hired anywhere in Spain? I will work in the wine industry and will probably work in La Rioja or Galicia.
Okay. Yes, Ryan, and you can modify either to an autónomo permit or to a cuenta ajena as an employee. You can modify to either one of those because you've been in Spain for more than 3 years, so you are able to choose which one is better for your interest. Okay. And you
one thing. Sorry, Juan Carlos.
Yes.
Also, take in mind and analyze if you can go also through high qualified worker visa, okay, and also practicas. I don't know if you have a degree or master's degree in the last 2 years, because now you are as an auxiliar de conversación, and I don't know what you want to do, but we have done from the wine industry, we have done also high qualified worker visas and practicas. So, and in the case that you are able to do that, you don't even have to wait for these 3 years. Just this clarification to open to more options.
Yes, because we've seen a lot of wine industry workers, and they have a good salary. If they are above the 40,000 euros per year, they can apply directly to the high qualified worker, altamente cualificado, and sometimes even with less salary, they can apply if they meet other requirements. So yes, that's a very good option because that goes to a fast track. It's supposed to be within 20 working days. Now it's a little bit longer because of the state of alarm, but you don't have to get an appointment. You can do it online, and it's much better. And for the second part of the question, you can be hired anywhere in Spain. You can work in La Rioja, in Melilla, in Galicia, everywhere. This permit is to work nationally, okay, in all Spain, okay?
Yes, but the main thing here in modifying, okay, is that if you, especially if it's a cuenta ajena, so it's an employee and you don't do these new options that we haven't, that you have given you, but you do a modification to cuenta ajena, okay? For example, you need to do the application, well, the company, because this is the company that is sponsoring you there in La Rioja, okay? Not in Madrid that you are living now. So be careful with these kind of things that people get rejected, and it's not that the problem. The problem is taking time and time to do things correctly. So you can do other options. You can do this also, as you are telling, freelance and cuenta ajena, both, and with appointment, but be careful where you take the appointment, and also online with these new available online procedures that we have. And the third question I asked you, in order to be eligible to apply for a work modification after 3 years on a student visa, is there a limit to how many days I can be outside Spain per year while I'm on a student visa?
I know, I think that
no, there is no limit, okay? So this is also a good difference between arraigo and modification. In the modification, they are not going to check this. Maybe you have been 2 months or 3 months every year outside Spain, and there is no problem with that. In an arraigo, if you become irregular, yes, it is very important because the maximum is 120 days in the last 3 years. But if you are doing a modification, no problem with this.
Okay, and we left a question out. The big question, it was, if I modify to Autónomo in Madrid, can I provide freelance services for any company anywhere in Spain? And the answer is yes, anywhere in Spain and anywhere in the European Union, and even you can provide services to companies that are outside of Spain. So yes, you can provide services for a company anywhere in Spain.
Yes, exactly.
And you want me to read you the next question?
Okay.
This will be from Prakriti Pinakin. Hello, Prakriti. Great initiative, guys. Thank you. I'm so helpful. Thank you again. I'm in the same boat as Kirsten Beard. My current TIE, residencia por cuenta ajena, expires in June. So ideally, I should start the process now for the renewal, but I'm lost to how to do it. I know that first you have to go to the Hacienda office, to the tax office, but those are closed. So I'll try to apply for a certificado digital, but it seems that to get that approved, you first need a cita presencial. Yes, you have to be there. So that won't work. Is there any other way to send the documents online and how to get the process started?
Well, yes, as we were telling before, or you do have a certificado digital previous to this, because now it's impossible to get it because the reasons that you are saying, or you do it through a lawyer that we can do it for you, and we are giving very good prices because we know this situation and we know that In other case, you will do it yourself. In addition, if you don't want to do it with a lawyer, correos is also an option. So send it in post office is also an option. It's not the one that I like, okay? Because paper now it takes long, and maybe to do it by post, I will wait and do it whenever this finishes. But just to tell you that it's an option to do it by post, and saying that is to it's called correo administrativo, okay, and it's saying that you are sending it to Extranjería de Madrid or wherever you want to send it. Okay, another one that we are running out of time. So Stephanie, in September 2020, Juan Carlos, I will have been an auxiliary language assistant on a student visa for 3 years. My student visa will expire in June 2020. Here my question, wow. When is the best time to apply for the student modification work visa for cuenta ajena? Juan Carlos, or if you want, I do it.
I think that she needs to apply once she has completed the 3 years. So for that, we will need to check what the stamp of on the passport to check when she entered, and once she has these 3 years of being a student, then she can apply. So yes,
exactly, but they allow it to do it 3 months before. Okay, 3 months before because they know that with the courses you start normally in September and you finish in June. To match and be able to do the modification, if you want to do the modification, they allow you to do it 3 months before doing those 3 years. So just count the days that like Juan Carlos was saying. I take in mind also those other options that we were saying are better than modification if you comply with the requirements. Another question from her: do I have to wait until I officially have been here 3 full years? Well, I have said 3 months before those. Do I have to apply before my student visa expire in June, or should I make sure I have a valid student visa when I apply? Well, whenever you apply, you need to have a valid visa or a renewal. That's why they are saying, and they are allowing to do in 3 months before, because normally it's fixed with the expiration. You cannot do a modification if your NIE has expired, but you can do it with a renewal, even if the renewal is not resolved yet. Okay, so if this is the case, do the renewal and do the modification, both things. Juan Carlos, maybe you want to answer this one. How soon do I need to secure a job? In other words, do I need to have already found a job by the time I apply for the work permit?
Yes, you actually need your employer to apply for the job on your behalf. So you need a pre-contract, a job offer that includes a contract. So yes, you do have to have a job secure in order to apply for this kind of modification.
So remember, yes, exactly. We were saying that the appointments, in this case, if you do it with appointment, is the company, okay, that will go for this modification. It's not you. So it's even better for the company this option online, because normally companies don't want to do this. Don't want to go because they lose a lot of time. So make sure that you get the job, of course, because it's the company doing, as Juan Carlos said. How much will cost to book a consultation in English? Your website costs 40 euros per 20 minutes via Skype, but Spanish Guru will only be 50 euros for 45. Well, this is because we have done special prices for everything, okay? And the times really are estimatory. I'm not going. All of our people that have come to a consultation can tell you we are not with the clock, okay? So normally the 50 euros normally is an hour, and the one of 40 euros normally is 30-40 minutes. But take a look, because you are mixing appointments because there are a lot of more. There are also for the 50 euros has changed to 25, okay? And the 80 euros has changed to 40 because there are several appointments. So you are mixing these prices. So we have cut in half, okay? The 40 euros was the 80 euros consultation, and the 50 euros is now 25. If I want to hire external lawyer to process my student modification, about how much would that cost? As we are telling you, we are doing very special prices, okay? A renewal is more or less, we are doing 200 euros. We need to see really what you need from us, okay? Maybe we can even do cheaper. If you have everything ready, we will see your file and we'll tell you. After a consultation and I decide to go with external, will my consultation be deducted? Yes, it is deducted.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I think we missed an important question.
Okay.
And it's what kind of jobs qualify? Is there a minimum yearly salary?
Very good question. Yes.
Yes, it should be a full-time job for 1 year, and it needs to be on the minimum wage. Or if there is a special job that applies for a convenio colectivo, it means that it has a special regulation because it's, if you do a special kind of job, then we will have to look at the conditions, at the salary condition of that convenio. But
well,
yes.
Juan Carlos, doesn't have to be a full-time job. It has to be the minimum wage, of course, but it depending on your profession. For example, imagine if you are changing to a doctor, maybe because you have studied medicine, maybe you are doing it with a contract of half of the time because a doctor gets a high salary. So the minimum wage will be with half of with a part-time job will be okay. But if it's for a waiter, for example, because remember, with a modification, it doesn't really need to be related. It is better because they don't they like it better, but you can change to a nanny, for example, okay? And then it will be a minimum wage, will be a full-time job because a nanny doesn't charge 700 euros for half of the time. Or maybe yes, but you need to really explain it. Why are you charging higher than usual? Okay. Okay. More questions. Stephanie, hi again. Another question. Is there any way that a non-UN citizen who had been in Spain for 3 years on a student visa will qualify? This one I have answered already. Yes. That I told you that yes, it's worse, I think, but yes. Let's see. Do you think we have to check anything, any question here in?
I see that yes, our colleagues at the office have been answering most of the questions.
Yes. Yes, our colleagues are quicker than I. For example, here I applied for a larga duración on the 12th of February, and in the online system is still on en trámite. Maybe you know how much time will it take to have a result? Well, it depends a lot because it depends in where you are living and also how that office is working. So they are not taking long, around, I think it will take around 3 months or even less because we are having lot of resolutions. So good luck, and have in mind that until it is resolved, you are okay. More, for example, I believe my 90 day will have been April 11th, but obviously it isn't my 90 days in my visa in on pause during the stage of alignment. I just don't know if the authorities issuing extension will see it that way. This is a continuous question. It is a concept that is difficult, so you need to know, okay? For Spanish authorities, time stopped March 14th. So more or less, if you say that you are doing 90 days the April 11, more or less it will be May 15 because it stopped a month ago, okay? And in any case, you will be okay. You will be okay for Spanish authorities. But as we were telling before, maybe you feel more comfortable having it, having an extension, because whenever this ends, you don't have time enough to go, because in your country you cannot go in. So you need to ask for an extension whenever the alert stops. Here in Spain, if there are problems to go back to your country, of course you need to apply for an extension. And of course, if you are traveling to another European Union, maybe the other European country didn't stop times or didn't stop as much time and as we are doing it. So in that case, of course, we need to ask for an extension, and we will explain it. We need a reason, and we need to show financial means, but we need to show, okay, I was going to I don't know, Germany next month, and I need to extend my visa to show them to Germany that I'm legal because Spain did an extension for me for the Schengen visa, or because there are no trips to my home country in China. I don't know, you know. Juan Carlos.
Yeah,
It is a really good exam, huh?
Yes, we are being tested. Yes, we go back to the list, and we have another question. This time from Ariela Stenbach. Hello, Ariela. And she asked, my renewal for my NIE for 2019 was finally approved in March the 5th, and I couldn't make fingerprint appointment before everything was shut down. I don't think I will get anything before it's time for me to submit another renewal before the end of May, which will be the new renewal deadline. Is there anything I can do?
So couldn't make a fingerprints appointment before anything was shut down. I don't think I will get anything before it is time for me to submit another renewal before the end. Okay, don't worry. If you haven't done, now there are no fingerprints, and if the new renewal comes without doing fingerprints, don't worry, okay? You show again that you were approved and that you need to renew again, and you do the renewal again, and it wouldn't be any problem. And this is a good question, because take in mind, I don't know your dates, but if your NIE or your renewals are for less than 6 months, they are not going to allow you to do fingerprints, okay? So, but not because of the COVID. This is the rule. Whenever you do a renewal, but it's only for 4 months, they are not going to issue another NIE and allow you to do fingerprints, okay? Have that in mind. Juan Carlos, Tachari Clemente, I started the process to renew my TA as an auxiliar de conversación. I've been here since September 2017. Of course, there have been delays due to immigration system in Madrid, and now the estado de alarma. Because it's taking so long, I'm at risk of losing all the time I've been here?
Yes, Zachary, hello. No, you will not lose all the time you've been here, but this applies for the good and for the bad. And in this case, of course, it will not have these bad consequences for you. The state of alarm, you will keep the time that you've had in Spain.
Okay. Juan Carlos, another one, Gigi.
Gigi Erdogan from Turkey.
Let me ask you, thanks a lot for doing this. I wanted to ask you about the effects of the state of alarm on the existing trámite visa process. In my case, I have submitted my paperwork under modificación de situación de estancia a cuenta ajena inicial. And the end of September, and they told us the process itself has been taking longer than usual, 3 months. It's already been 6.5 months in this case. During this period, will we still be giving, approving, or rejecting visas, or in the process on hold right now? Juan Carlos.
Yes, they are working, okay, but they have a huge delay in the procedures. So don't worry. If it's still on tramite, that means that they don't have any requirement to make you, and that for now they don't have anything to ask you. So you have to wait. You have to be patient and wait because they have a huge delay. This situation is going to add even more delay to some procedures. So, but they are working and they are issuing resolutions every day. So you just have to be patient.
Gigi, in any case, I don't know what you've studied and what is really your case, but take in mind, for example, practicas that I don't know if you have a degree or master's degree, even if you in your home country in the last 2 years, practicas it should be resolved in a month. High qualified worker visa, it should resolve in 20 days. So whenever we can apply for this kind of new procedures in which they have a limit of time, it's better and the company prefer it. So if you comply with the requirements, maybe it's a good option to try that one at the same time, and then you decide which one. Maybe it's an option. I don't know. Just for you to know. Another one, Casey. Hi, I modified from a student visa to a cuenta ajena, and I'm now looking at European residency. I have been here for 6.5 years, 4 on a student visa. What are my options? What can I do, and when I can start the process? So remember, okay, there are two different larga duración, okay? One is larga duración Unión Europea, and another is the normal larga duración. The larga duración Unión Europea is the one that counts the time as a student permit. So, as you are telling me, 4 years you were in a student visa. So, of those 4 years can be 2 for the larga duración Unión Europea, and the other ones as a resident. So for larga duración normal, you will not comply. For larga duración Unión Europea, you comply. What is the main requirement? The main requirement is having a stable economy, and with a stable economy, they prefer you very much to have a job offer. Okay. If you just show financial means, we need to fight it a little. We have done it, but they prefer to understand financial stability with a job, which is not really the truth because you see what is the crisis now. But in any case, that is the main requirement. The 5 years, counting half of the student visa. Having not been outside Spain for 10 months in the last 5 years, and the financial means.
I know a lot of people are asking us on the chat about the consulates. Are they working? Are they issuing visas? What's happening with the consulates?
Well, it depends in the consulates. We work a lot with consulates. Juan Carlos and I, we are always talking to consulates. Some visas are approved, and we see that they are approved and even issued with the passport, and others they are not. They are stopped, and they are not approving, and they are saying that just for emergency situations they will resolve something, right, Juan Carlos? You talk a lot with them.
Yes, and it's different from consulate to consulate, but that's the main issue. Some consulates are only working for urgent cases, but the European Union has issued an instruction stating that all consulates must remain open and working if possible. So it depends a lot. For example, Balakumar is asking about this person about India. Yes, they are working, but they are only issuing visas regarding urgent permits or urgent cases. Then we have persons asking about this in Mexico, and it's the same. And in the United States, it's happening. It's the difference is between every consulate in there. For example, New York is only working for the urgent cases, but some other consulates are working for all the other cases. So it depends a lot on the consulate that you are doing your procedure.
Yes, you need to write them or go online to see if they have advised anything in their website, or call them if you are lucky and they answer, which I don't think they will, because consulates are complicated to talk with. Okay, Juan Carlos, Nada, I applied for a long-term residency on January 17th in Seville. In a couple of days, I will be 90 days. Does it count as administrative silence? If yes, can I book my fingerprints appointment with Policia online now?
Okay, John. Yeah, all legal terms are suspended for the good and for the bad. So that means that the positive silence will not apply for your case. The clock stop and will start right where it was. That means that the count will not start again, but will resume after the state of alarm. So there's a big delay. You have to wait. And for the part of the fingerprint, no, you cannot book it. There are no appointments. So you will have to wait until the situation goes back to normal.
And one question, are you sure? So remember, parejas de hecho, regulation are different from country to country. Take a look if there is positive silence, which I think it will be great. I don't remember it now because we have so many parejas de hecho regulations, but if it is, it's great, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe it's silencio negativo, okay? Another question, it is still in trámite in their website and the text message system, but is possible that they have already decided and didn't update the system. It happened to me in the past during quarantine. Can you find out the real status via email or another channel, and how much does it cost?
Okay, they are now updating the system in real time. So usually what this says in the website is the real status. Okay, sometimes there's a big just delay, but no, I don't think that you have a decision for this time because you just applied in January. So I doubt that they have already decided. It's very soon. So in Seville, I think that yes, there is a bit of delay too. Not as much as Madrid, but they do have a delay. So yes, there is no other channel to check the status. You can try to ask them directly through email, but they hardly answer.
One thing about regarding this, okay, we are getting a lot of resolutions and we are getting a lot of favorable resolutions because there was a criteria published by the immigration authorities the first day of the estado de alarma, and they were recommending, and this was really a mandatory recommendation for the for all the cities, all the immigration offices, not to issue any denial resolution. They are not complying with this. We have seen some denials because people are writing us very nervous about how they do the appeal. And don't worry, because times are not counting also for the appeals, but denials shouldn't be resolved. Okay, when they think that they are going to deny, immigration authorities have tell to the people behind them not to publish the or issue the resolution because it is a worse scenario for a foreigner, and now you can not defend and inform yourself as good as in a normal situation. In any case, if you get a denial, times are stopped for the appeal, so don't worry. Another question, Juan Carlos, tell me about.
Yes, Mica Generoso, o Generoso. Hi, I had a toma de huellas appointment for the end of March, which due to this situation didn't push through. On the website to ask for a cita, I see the option to ask for a fingerprint.
This is the same. This is the same. No fingerprints. Yes. Don't worry. Will be available, or they will decide whatever decision. But you are okay even with no fingerprints. It's not your fault, and you are okay. Another one. Yeah. Okay. My student needs expires in December, and I could not apply for a new one yet after the quarantine. Can I apply for a new one? Will there be any problem with this? Because within 90 days after NIE expires, we must apply for a new one. Well,
okay. We need to check a lot because maybe it expired at the end of December and then we can do it. But if it expired at the beginning of December and it didn't go through the state of alarm, then we cannot do anything. But still, yeah, be sure to contact us because your case is very special, and we need to check the dates, especially because in this case, for example, if your knee expired at the end of December and the 90 days came through, let's say at the end of March, then you will be able to apply for a visa extension. But if your knee expired before, yes.
And remember, there is a tough criteria and a flexible criteria. The flexible criteria is that you will be able to apply from here, even if you are changing studies. But if they take the tough criteria, if you are not doing it as a proroga, so continuing the same studies, and you are changing completely studies and they apply the tough criteria, you need to do the application before the expiration. So I clarify myself. A renewal, and a renewal is when you continue with the same kind of studies, it is allowed to be applied the 3 months after expiration. But a new student visa, now it's possible to apply here in Spain, but in a legal status. So it wouldn't be a legal status the 3 months after expiration. So make sure if you are changing studies, if not to have any problem and depending of tough criteria or flexible criteria, make sure if you are changing studies to do it before the expiration of your previous year. Juan Carlos Madison says, I have turned in my application for a freelance visa and residency, but still saying tramite online. Will I be able to re-enter Spain on my current student visa this summer, or assuming my residency is approved while I'm out of the country? Will I be able to re-enter Spain with a printout from Extranjería website saying my residency application has been approved?
Okay, yes. Bear in mind that this is an extraordinary situation, and the Spanish authorities know this. They are more flexible on the requirements. So, of course, if you have your permit approved, then you will be able. But even though if not, I think that you have a current student visa. So it depends on the restrictions on this summer. We don't know if we are going to have the same restrictions.
And Madison, I think they are going to be flexible, of course, like they are in Christmas when you cannot get an autorización de regreso. But in any case, for all of you to know, okay, also, when this happens and sometimes you lose the right to come back, there is the possibility also to go to the consulate and show what happens and they issue a visa, okay? I don't think it's going to be necessary, okay? Because it's even more work for the consulate, but that will be the legal right thing to do. Going to the consulate and show it what happened, and they give you a special visa to enter. In any case, like they do in Christmas or whatever, showing that you are in trámite and with these special circumstances, you will be able to come back. Juan Carlos, she has another question. I had to leave Spain without autorización de regreso. It's the same. Without an autorización de regreso, or you apply for the consulado, or you come back showing that you had everything correct, except that you didn't have the autorización de regreso. And when I applied to change my student visa to freelance work visa and residency in early March, I used my then current address in Spain, both for the address of notification as well as for the place I'll be working. Due to the pandemic, I'd like to leave my current apartment and move in family in Spain. It is problematic to change the address before the freelance visa has been approved. Do I need to alert Extranjería to change the in-address? Yes, you need. Can I even do that during the quarantine online? Do I need to change my empadronamiento as well? Everything is yes. So you need to inform. There is no much problem, okay? Because you need to inform, and then showing the information and showing that you haven't get the letter, they will give you a copy. And now, for example, in Madrid, they are allowing to do the empadronamiento as well online, right, Juan Carlos? We have done it already.
Yes, in Madrid, they have allowed us to do it online because we were asking for it, or the lawyers were asking for it, and they heard us and they allow us to do it online. So in Madrid, you can change the empadronamiento online. And maybe in other cities, they are doing it too, because we know that this is an important part of all the procedures in Spain.
Okay, we have finished these questions. Maybe there are some in the chat. We are going to finish. People are going to get dinner. I see less viewers now. Any other last question? Casin, I have applied temporary residency and work initial also account on 24 February, but still have no any response. I heard will take almost 45 days, but in my case, no response till the date. Well, times are stopped for them too. They are resolving, as we said, but patience, and patience. Will this chat be on YouTube after this video ends? I think that yes, it's first time we do it. I hope we don't have any problem having the copy of the video. I think it will be great, and we will have it in YouTube.
I know, excuse me, yeah, we have a question from Tatiana Ortiz before, and yes, she says, hi, I need help. I'm studying and doing an internship. I think this is a convenient internship. My permit got approved on February, but expires on July. I get a job offer and they are willing to ask for my residence and work permit. This can be done online, or do we have to wait?
It's a very good question, Juan Carlos. Yes, it can be done online, okay? You have several options. We need to know what is your situation. If you want to do residencia por prácticas, if you want to do a modification cuenta ajena or a high qualified worker, in any case, all of them are available online and is much better. We recommend it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being with us in our really very first live streaming. We will try to do it every week, at least two times a week. But it depends on your questions and if you need our answers. But thank you very much, and Juan Carlos, thank you very much to be here with me.
Thank you.
We see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.